The Bar Group, raising the bar in real estate. Your Lake Highlands, Lakewood, Preston Hollow pros. You can find them at thebargroup.com. Unparalleled customer service for your real estate needs. The Bar Group.
Coming through.
I don't know how traumatized I am about what I read in the Dink. It's actually a pretty good little group of articles that I subscribe to that talks about all types of pickleball thing. But apparently, Major League Pickleball is going to go to rally scoring starting now. And right now, we're at side-out scoring for us rec players. But if you're like my next guest, who's a multi-sport individual who actually saw him win one of his state titles, I taught half the kids on his team at a former club. He is the junior director and the head pickleball professional at Sweetwater Country Club. He's a 4-time state tennis champion. He's a Texas Tech tennis commit, and he played quarterback at the NJCAA for 3 years. Maybe he's redshirted 1 year. In his final year of college, where he graduated, Loyola University, New Orleans, he played baseball. So this dude plays everything but tennis in college. And you were ranked pretty high in state, weren't you, Chris?
Yes, I was.
This is Mr. ChrisBell. What's up, man? How's West Texas treating you?
Well, I'll tell you, I actually am in Sugar Land, which is in just outside of Houston. But
I suck at this.
Was treating me very well until about last year. I moved to my current club, Sweetwater Country Club down in Houston, Texas.
Oh,
so
that's right. Good. Well, good, man. Gee, you look great. You got your lid on there. I like the tennis balls in the background. That's an office that every pro has been a part of it some point in their life, and you're still young, so you're following par for the course. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So our storage unit down in the back or down below us has got more tennis balls too. So this is our only spot for those. If anybody that can see me, this is our only spot for like pros to have a quiet space at our club.
Well,
we have a really, really busy club. We have like over 1,800 members, and so it's a little different from what I've been accustomed to as far as when I worked in Dallas, where it was more privately owned. So, yeah, we have a lot of things going on here.
So let's get to it, Mr. ChrisBell. When did you get into pickleball, and why, really?
I got into pickleball in 2013. My dad was playing. So for those that don't know, my dad is ChrisBell, who is the director of tennis at Bent Tree Country Club. And so I've been kind of through the whole process of being in a club and everything since day one of my life. And that includes racket sports. And I was hitting with a friend one evening in 2013. And I got done hitting. I look over, we're inside, and I look over on the other side. My dad's he's still playing this game that's on a shorter court with this kind of unique style racket and a wiffle ball. And I walk over, and he kind of waves me over after I just got done hitting. And I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm playing pickleball. You want to play? And I was like, sure, I've never played before. And so I played in 2013, and I remember one of the first points, I stood inside the kitchen and hit my volley, and then everybody kind of looked at me and like, you can't do that. And I was like, oh man, what are these rules? But I enjoyed this sport. So I got in because my dad showed me how to do it. And then from then on, I kind of just been playing on my own and been teaching on my own from then on.
Well, you said I'm not very OCD about much. I'm not, but one thing I kind of am OCD about, and I love you, kid. I love you, Chris. But you go with this thing with the weird racket. It's not a racket, damn it! It's a paddle they had in their hand, dude. Not a racket.
Oh, I know it's not a racket.
So, and you need to yell at people when they say that crap.
Paddle.
That's blasphemy.
No, it is something that you battle with. So it is a paddle. So what I was trying to explain in my story is I didn't really know too much about the game, and so. What's the difference between a paddle and what's the difference between a racket? And so, no, I know the term, the actual paddle. I was just explaining.
I'm just giving you crap, man.
I was explaining how new I was to the sport. I didn't really know what it was. And so, but yes, I just remember like the paddle and the wiffle ball are something very unique to the sport. And obviously it's played on a shorter court, but you can play it on a tennis court.
So what do you think, what's your favorite thing about pickleball in your mind?
The quickness. It's quick and it's decision making. Growing up, I was a better doubles player than I was singles player, which is crazy. I like playing more singles than doubles. So So I have good hands, and so I enjoy playing pickleball because because of the strategy, and also it does help that you're a little taller, so you can get to a lot more balls just really quick. So, and there's a lot of thought process. There's obviously the dink shot is something that everybody's got to have, but to master it, it takes a good amount of time. So, I enjoy it because it's something new in the racket sports community. And I like playing all racket sports. I've grown up when I first started playing any type of racket sport. I didn't play tennis first. I played squash and racquetball first. So anything with a ball and a racket, I think, is really fun to me.
So, you said that you like it the most because of the rate of the pace. That's good, and the strategy is pretty cool too.
Yeah, strategy is fun.
Ironically enough, I was asked to be on my first show last week on the Pickleball Fire podcast with Lynn Cherry. And she's it's pretty interesting, I basically said what you said. I like the angles. I love angles. I enjoy them, and I think that pickleball, it's very important to have those at the right time, not right as you start the point. But it's not about me. So so like what at Sweetwater Country Club, what's the environment like with your pickleball? I mean, you run it. Do you have a junior program? Do you have a senior program, an adult program, or what do you kind of like doing? Because that.
Tomorrow, let me tell you, just tomorrow we have a member guest, and we have 32 players coming out. So
that's awesome, man.
We have more of an adults program. Crazy. Last year, actually, kind of just you saying juniors program. Last year, during spring break, we had to why we had to do it, but we ran a little bit part of our spring break camp with juniors pickleball, and people, some kids liked it. But mainly at our club, it's mainly adults. And we've had as many come out. We have one event called Dinks and Drinks. We've had as many as 60-something people, but for that, we usually get 20. So mainly adults. And we do have an active people coming out and playing. One of our courts just got lines put down on. And so I would say about 3 or 4 times a week, those courts are being used for pickleball. So it's growing. Maybe not as fast as maybe some other clubs, and maybe not as fast as maybe some other states. Because I know that around the country, you read things about pickleball and everything, and which communities and which states are growing as fast. But for now, most of it is adults that we have.
Well, yeah, you're gonna see that. I mean, we are in the process of building creating a position, and I went full time to Green Hill. Starting in this year, and juniors are one of the things that's on my docket to create, and that's good. I mean, I'll keep you in the loop with that one too, man. So you get the kids out there, get the kids out there.
Sure.
It's all good.
For the juniors. Mm-hmm.
So do you have pros that work that you train, or that work with you, or you do? Okay, good. Are they certified, or do you have any special certifications you like, or or you don't? It's totally up to you. There's no right or wrong answer to this.
Say it again. I'm sorry. Say it again.
Do you certifications? Is there any specific brand you like? If there's no right or wrong, I'm saying this, Chris. You know me a long time. I'm very objective, but people have. I want the listeners to feel of what they may create their own program. Maybe they might go with someone. Maybe they don't. But what do you think? What's your favorite? What's your preferred certification?
So let me just go with what I got certified, and then my other part. So I was IPTPA certified in 2018, which I think the guy's name is Matt Lazarus out of Austin.
We did the same thing. We were there together.
Yeah, that's right. So, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
As far as teaching goes, I've kind of put my own stuff together. Good. And I've always said this: if you want to come see if I'm certified, come and play me. So that's what I've always said.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. So if you don't think I can teach it, I've watched those YouTube clips of tennis and pickleball, and for the clientele that I have, and for the clientele that they have on YouTube and any other source site, those players can hit the ball back 3 or 4 times. I mean, some of these people can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So you kind of have to go over. You kind of have to go over and hold their hand a little bit, and that's not wrong. That's okay. They're getting into it, and maybe they didn't have a background like I did, or a lot of pickleball players. So I do get not frustrated, but I kind of do smile when I see some of the videos out there. And
I
that's
know,
not,
man.
that is not a shade or is not
I know. You're talking to me, man. Dig it.
but like, man, I would love it if all my players could feed their own ball and move in and hit a volley and, you know, maybe hit a sick dink and everything. I mean, I just got into my advanced program a few weeks ago, and we're getting into, okay, on that third shot drop, you know, over the, you know, as far as that shot, we're getting into that, and that's my advanced group, and so I do watch some videos, but for the most part, it's something that I put together. You know, I put this together, and we work on a lot of strategy,
Good.
not necessarily a lot of like form and everything. That would be different. That would be different in my tennis. I work on a lot of form in my tennis because I don't want anybody to get injured as far as elbows. But pickleball is a little, just slightly different on form, and so we work a lot more on strategy in my advanced class.
That's great. So do you have your own system of teaching, which is totally respectful. I think it's awesome. I'm doing the same thing. There's no right or wrong. I actually said that last weekend. But so what you like singles? You like mixed? You like doubles? What do you prefer when you play pickleball? Or are you playing tournaments that much as you can? Or tell me about that.
No, man, Juke, if I could hit tennis balls, you know, for 30 minutes a day, that'd be great. You know, I haven't really ventured out to the tournament world in pickleball. I've been to tournaments. I went to Robson Ranch up in Benton. I've been to a couple of those. That was back to when, I mean, I'll tell your viewers this.
They're our viewers, bro. You're on the show.
Yeah. I was thinking about putting a pickleball league together in Dallas, just like PCD. I'm gonna put it out there. I have logos and all of it, and I actually talked to a bunch of people. I was gonna call it PCD, and so I think someone beat me to the punch after later on. I got too busy, but I've been to tournaments and everything. I want to start leagues. I like to start leagues for cash, you know, to see who's actually, you know, willing to put their money up and see if they're any good. I've always thought that. I always thought that that'd be kind of fun to put amateur stuff like that. But as far as me playing, you know, I don't really have, you know, too much tournament experience. But I mean, I wouldn't be.
You'd be fine.
I wouldn't be scared to go play a tournament or anything if that's what you're trying to ask.
Well, yeah, you're doing great. Just stay tuned with more of that because I'm actually having some pros reach out to me about, and anybody listening, reaching out to me about possibly putting a team together. And I know there's a tournament in Arkansas that was wanting us to come. And
Sure.
I haven't told your dad about that yet, but he's making me the pickleball guy here for some unknown reason. And I appreciate that. But keep playing because I'll talk to you more about that when it gets closer to that next time.
Yeah. Sure.
So, what's your favorite shot?
Favorite shot? Probably the lob. I'm not gonna lie. I love that shot.
Yes, you heard it first right here, baby. That's what I told everybody.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this. I'm gonna tell this story.
Okay.
When we first started, when we did that certification, there was two dudes there that kind of, I guess at the time, played the U.S. Open of pickleball or were like higher level or something like that. And I remember playing with my dad, and when we served, they would hit the return and move in. And at that time, wasn't like savvy enough to like be like, oh yeah, we should just drop it to them. I thought it would just be easier. I told my dad, I was like, listen, when they move in, I'm gonna lob, and you're gonna like run to the left, and I'm gonna stay right in the center. So it's gonna look like to the right of us is wide open. So right when they put their head down, I'm just gonna run that way, and then I'm gonna hit the ball as hard as I can, because a lot of the people at that time were not tennis players; they were pickleballers. So their form of hitting overheads wasn't as good or as powerful. So so they did that like 4 or 5 times. I got them on some cheap points, and I just remember after we beat them, and they were like, "See, this is why we like playing tennis players, because like you guys do something completely different than what normal pickleball players would do." And I told them, like, listen, I'm not hating on y'all's overheads, but I just didn't think they were going to be as good as, you know, you putting the ball away. Plus, it's a wiffle ball. So, yeah. So that's that. The lob is actually my favorite shot.
You keep calling it wiffle ball. It's a pickleball, you bonehead. Come on.
Pickleball. Sorry.
I've watched that match, too, by the way. I was there.
The lob is a very useful shot. The lob in tennis gets me a little frustrated because it's just one of those shots that just kind of is easy for, just to just throw it up. Whereas in pickleball, you gotta be a little savvy with the idea of just throwing it up. Because I've tried to teach it to my people that I have at my club, and they can do it, but they do it in the wrong time. So I'm not saying that it's an easy shot in both sports. I'm just saying that it may be a little bit more effective in pickleball than it is to be in tennis at the lower kind of amateur level. So, but I watch the guys now that I've watched on TV, which is crazy, and those dudes a lot of them are former tennis players because they're absolutely incredible players. So, yes, the lob is my favorite shot, but it's developing into the game.
Good. I was listening. I was watching something on Instagram with that amazing female player, Simona. I can't pronounce her last name. I apologize. Dang it. She's out there in Florida, and she did a little clip on Instagram, a little reel, and she said, "I'm going to throw this out there, but let you know my favorite shot is now." I didn't like it at first. She goes, "The lob," and I freaking threw up, started screaming, going, "See, I told people," because the game is evolving. They're going to dip scoring next year, starting the rally scoring. It starts to pros, it goes down to, the recreational level. Whereas that's how it works with tennis, right? And so that's what's happening in Major League Pickleball. But also, I saw that ESPN and Disney Plus signed a contract to start streaming all pickleball tournaments and leagues. It's gonna be get ready, man.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be a blast. Wow. It's gonna be a blast.
It is. And I don't want to get off too much topic. I wish they would have done this with tennis a little more. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a tennis person to the core. I love pickleball, and it's a pickleball show. But it is crazy to see how people are getting into it, and I think that's wonderful. It's not that I'm throwing shade at pickleball at all. I just think it's crazy. It's on Fox Sports 1 and 2, and now it's going to be on ESPN and Disney. That's great. That's wonderful, and I think it's just great for more people to get exposed to the sport. And it is really fun. It is very, very.
I'll keep you in the loop with all this stuff. Trust me, it's kind of fun how I get to hear things and people ask me stuff. So now what I'd like to do is we're going to go to our new segment, or it's not new anymore. It's called In the Kitchen. And this is kind of where we ask funny questions, And I give you an answer. You feel whatever you think's right or wrong, but it's just kind of good so these people, listeners, can know who you are and kind of what you like. So right now, I'm listening to a band. I was coming in jamming hard. Tuesday, had a bad Tuesday. Had a pickleball battle that I thought I lost. And it's not on the court, it's off the court. But ultimately, I'm going to win it. And I was really pissed off. So I put on some Audio Slave and cranked up Doesn't Remind Me. And I was just in heaven. What are you jamming right now?
I'm jamming right now. Man. I listen to a lot of EDM house music.
There you go.
I listen to a lot of Deadmau5. And so I just like just about every song.
So you just, who's Deadmau5? Is he the guy with that awesome mask?
Yeah, the mouse head. Okay. Yeah, the mouse head. Yeah,
that's cool, man. I don't know that.
Yeah, it's something different. I will say I'm a sports radio guy, so like when I do have time to listen to anything, I'll listen to sports radio. But if I'm really listening to music, I will listen to EDM, and my favorite artist is Deadmau5.
There you go. What's your favorite movie of all time? I go in circles. I have watched The Breakfast Club, which I think is hilarious. So that's kind of what I'm feeling is my favorite movie of the week right now. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is American Gangster.
Oh, really? That's with who's in that?
Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's my favorite movie. So I don't know. I just really like that movie. I do like the Batman movies. I
haven't seen those yet. The new ones or the old ones?
I like Christopher Nolan as a director. So, I think he does a great job. I wish that DC Universe would have handed him a blank check and said, just write whatever you want, and we're going to be bigger than Marvel. But they didn't do that. So I think that was wrong for them. But my favorite movie is American Gangster.
That's great. So are you binge watching anything? You doing a binge watching podcast? I've been listening to this podcast I put on called The Wonderland Murders. It's actually very sad. It's about that murder back there in '81, and it's a real sad story. But I've been listening to that. I'm almost done with it. What are you binge watching? Listening to
right now? I'm watching this show called The Killing. It's by AMC. it's a really dark show based out of it's like based off of a book by a Danish writer, I think that's what it is. And it's about this murders in Seattle.
I saw that. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's what I'm binge watching right now. I honestly can't get enough of it. I'm on season 3.
Well, I a few weeks ago I got to watch Sneaky Pete, and my sister says that guy's an exact replica of me. That Ribsy, what's his name? Something Riggs.
I don't know. I don't know if I've
Giovanni.
ever seen it. I know what it is, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Okay. All right. So, what's your favorite sports team? Mine's the Chiefs, obviously. Ren loves the Chiefs too.
My favorite sports team would be the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my God, dude, we've been watching this forever. I hate it. I love the Cowboys too, but okay. Well, you know, I'm a baseball fan. What about baseball?
For those people, let me talk about the Cowboys real quick.
As
far as baseball, I'll say in a second. As far as the Cowboys go, and I love Dak, but people were hating on Romo, and I was defending Romo for my whole entire life because I loved him. I want to see those people still hate on Dak because he just hasn't won. And unfortunately, when you don't win in the NFL and you don't, win the big games, this is what you get paid for, $40 million. And he's one of the best athletes in the world and one of the top quarterbacks. But unfortunately, if you don't win the big game, and that's what Jerry wants, then you're going to get some hate. And I just hated that everybody was hitting on Romo thinking that it was his fault. When actually, if you look at his stats, we can go on for days about it. I love football, but, I just, the Cowboys always get to me as far as baseball.
Okay, I'm going to kick you off that soapbox, homie. So it's all right. You're passionate. Hey, what's up, bro? Anyway. So what's one thing that people don't know about you that's quirky? I will tell you what mine is. I prefer peanut butter waffles over peanut butter pancakes. Boom, there it is right there. You heard it from me.
Hey, you guys got me?
What's that?
You had me? I'm sorry. Something dropped and my hand dropped and then it just went blank. Can you see me?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. We can continue. Sorry about that.
Did you hear what I said? This is awesome.
What? I was going to say it again. I'm sorry.
I said, what's one quirky thing about you that nobody knows? Me is that I love peanut butter waffles over peanut butter pancakes every day, all day, any day.
One quirky thing. I listen a lot. You know what? I used to listen to a lot of classical music before sports games.
Really? What?
Yeah, for sure. Because it would calm me down. Because anytime you're playing baseball and you try to get pumped up, you go out there and I play outfield, so what are you getting pumped up for? You might not see the ball. And I love it. That's my first love. Why am I getting pumped up? I needed something soothing, relaxing. People listen to country music. I just got done listening to country music, so I was like, let me try something different. So I did. So, and
great.
also too, yeah, it really does help. I'll say this real quick. I had a summer league coach that told me, think of a song in your head when you're up at bat. And so if you try to think of some upbeat song, you're going to just really gear yourself up for failure. So if you try to slow something down and think something very nice and calming, then boom, you might get a hit every 3 out of 10 times. You might be amazing. So yeah, that might be something quirky about me.
That sounds like a pretty good coach that can read you pretty well. That's good.
I love that guy. That guy was one of my
What was his
favorites.
name? What was the coach's name? Just give him props.
I can't think of his name.
You suck. Are you kidding me?
I can't think of his name. Gosh, for the life of me, I can't. But I was
he's gonna think you're a douche
summer.
now, man. I'm just
What's
kidding. Well, look, hey. Well, look, hey, listen. How would listeners? Maybe we got somebody coming in from California that's to move to that's going to move to the Houston area, and they want to work for this guy named ChrisBell. They want to learn pickleball, or they want to jump in there and show them how it's done. How would they get in touch with you?
You can email me, honestly.
And that's
email me, ChrisBell Tennis. Yeah, ChrisBell Tennis at Outlook.com. That's the easiest way to find me. I haven't gotten to the Instagram or all this other stuff just yet about my whole pickleball and tennis life.
That's all right. Don't worry about it, man. It's your show. It's your story.
I'm a very private person. I keep to myself. But if you want to reach out to me and you want to learn some pickleball or anything else, you can reach out to me at ChrisBell Tennis at Outlook.com.
And I can be reached at Curtis, CURTIS, at Reese Racket Sports, REESE, RACKETS. PORTS.com for any vendors, anybody might want to come on the show, anybody wants to get in touch with anybody that's on the show. Also, check out all of our other lovely apps, guest shows, hosts we have on here. Every mood you're in. And hey, Chris, man, if you ever see anybody hesitating, just grab them and say, come on, let's pickle, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you have a nice week. Thanks for your time, bro. See you.
All right, I'll see you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Coming through.